Each party dug in to make our points. Mohawk Council officials met in a last-ditch effort with CBSA on May 28th to stop the process. After a brief discussion and possible solutions that we put forward, we asked the president of CBSA, Stephen Rigby, what words can I and the leadership that was with me take back to the people of Akwesasne in regards to their policy? And I quote, he said, "It is what it is." And my response to him, what happens, happens. The leadership of Akwesasne has tried to meet with the Minister of Public Security, Stockwell Day at the time, and now Peter Van Loan. And the only opportunity we had to have that discussion with Peter Van Loan was in the hallways of Parliament, this building behind me, for 4 minutes, and he calls that consultation? Throughout the month of May, our community members have been manning a tent in an attempt to get the government to talk with us about the issue of the arming. Our community has brought this issue to the Canadian people who pass through our territory by providing them with information leaflets. We had a peaceful rally at the site. We had a peaceful march onto CBSA compound. We have done everything in the most respectful and peaceful manner that no one gets hurt from our community or those officers themselves at the port of entry. On Friday, May 29th, the community, along with the elders and leaders, delivered the community-driven February 28th resolution regarding our banning of arms by CBSA officials. And we asked that resolution be forwarded to the Government of Canada. On May 30th, during another peaceful rally, the elders and community members asked that I, as Grand Chief, read the resolution in its entirety to CBSA officials. I did that. I also informed them that the resolution would be enforced in the coming days before the June 1st deadline to arm CBSA officials. The leadership on May 31st also asked CBSA officials if we could inspect the facility to see if there were arms in their facility. That was denied because it would be a breach of security. I then asked if they could tell us verbally, are there arms in the facility? Again, we were denied. During this whole incident, we have kept this process peaceful, as the leadership promised, as the elders promised, and the community promised. On May 31st, as many discussions were going on, there was also numerous sidebar discussions going on with CBSA officials in the facility. I was informed at 11:30 p.m. by MCA chiefs that CBSA officials would voluntarily leave their posts if we, the people of Akwesasne, would guarantee that we would protect the building. We would not occupy it, we would not damage it, and we would not destroy it. We have kept our promise. The government needs to understand we need to sit down and talk. At 11:55, 5 minutes before the deadline, to the armed guards, CBSA officials voluntarily left their posts. The international border that's in the middle of our community was closed. Was closed to even community members. After hours of consultation, we were able to get our communities back onto our territory. Our people could leave, but they could not come back. On Monday, June 1st, as daylight came, Akwesasne community members now had a task to react to the closure of the bridge by CBSA officials to ensure the safety of our people. Schools were closed. Medical personnel were not allowed on the territory to tend to our elderly. Community members weren't allowed back on Cornwall Island. Akwesasne began to mobilize our emergency management plan. people began putting boats in the water to transport people to and from our territory. The situation that the government has put the community of Akwesasne in has brought our community together as one, has strengthened our bonds, and has strengthened our courage to reach out to all First Nation leaders across this country and Canadians alike, and ask you to stand side by side with our leadership and the Mohawk Council of Akwesasne, the St. Regis Mohawk Tribal Council on the U.S. side, and the Mohawk Nation Council of Chiefs. We ask you to begin peace fires in your communities. Call your MPs, call your political representatives, provincial representatives, federal, to force the government to meet with Akwesasne leadership and to resolve the current situation that we face. Today, the Akwesasne community is still partially closed. From the U.S. side, there is no through traffic to Canada or the city of Cornwall. Akwesasne's community is suffering. The city of Cornwall is suffering. The town of Messina, New York is suffering. We have taken the issue to the United Nations. We have taken the issue to the Secretary Napolitano of Homeland Security. We have taken the issue to the Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton. If that isn't enough, Canada, when are you going to react? Our people continue to transport by boat to the mainland. The Bank of Montreal is closed. Mail delivery is limited to 2 days. Our people are being forced to travel by car around Akwesasne, which takes an hour and a half. Our lives have been disrupted by the Conservative government under the leadership of Stephen Harper. Minister Van Loan must stop lying to the Canadian people about the situation. Today, we ask for your support, also to stand with us in solidarity against the government's strong-arm tactics against Aboriginal people and Akwesasne. Nyawo.